So it's Basement Reunion 5. We had a good time tonight. We got to give props to Jeff, of course, and Clint. And you know what? It's been a long time. I mean, the bands I was in the book here, Solinger, Red House, you know, all those bands, we played the Basement. We might even play one in the future. And you know, from Blackout Tonight to Chastity to Spiders to Bangkok Shock to Low Side and then Lord Tracy. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. A great night, great cast of musicians. But I tell you what, there's a lot of DFW rock history right here in this book. And more than that, beyond the music, is the hope. The hope that I found that I got a second chance at life after a near-death experience in 2003. I'm just glad to be here tonight. It's great to see friendly faces. And I think Ron said it from Low Side. He said, you know, you got to treasure the moment that you got with your good friends and your family. Is that what really matters? The music's great. But you know what, at the end of the day, all these people are just like, it's like a family. So it's been a good night. Michael, I thank you for what you do in Jam Magazine. I hope to see everybody real soon at a new Supernova Remnant show in 2013. Look for us with Stryper, hopefully this summer on tour. You know, one of the guys for sure that made a big impact, you know, Jason from No Respect. Obviously, I was at his service and there were so many people there just to show respects to him. What a great musician, what a great promoter, what a great performer that he was. And then of course Gray Ware was with Solinger. You know, I was like 27 and Gray went on to be with the Lord. You know, he had a hard time himself. It was too much Valium and too much alcohol. And so some of these people, you know, they just in their 20s, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, you know, we don't know why, but they just go before their time, and a lot of times it's because drugs and alcohol are involved. You know, everybody likes to party and have a good time, but the main thing is, if the music's really what's driving people, then that ought to be above all the other partying and stuff. I think the people that stand and have a new life and have a second chance are the ones that really try to use the music as a way to connect with people, as a vehicle, so it's just not sitting at the bar getting wasted and forgetting who you were the next day, because I had plenty of that. A lot of the new kids nowadays I've taught lessons to or that are coming up, they know the real music. They go back to the roots, they go back to Hendrix, they go back to Clapton, they go back to the Beatles. These bands that have stood the test of time, they're great bands because they're great musicians, but not only that, they really went back to the roots. And nowadays there's so much music that's digitized and is fabricated. I mean, God forbid the kid that gets in a room with Pro Tools and all he does is stay holed up in his room and chopping up digital tape, because it's just not gonna have the same warmth in the music and the same connection that you get if you're young. I mean, if you can get in with your parents at some of these shows and get in, experience it, meet some other bands, meet some people in the business, and get out there and learn the ropes early on, because that's gonna pay it forward in your career, and you're gonna be able to pay that forward to other people. I promise you, it'll pay you big dividends to study this stuff out. Learn your music, learn how to read, learn theory. All of those things are gonna matter for you going down the road as a musician. Right now, I mean, the cool thing, I got an email today from Janice Sweet, who's the mother of Robert and Michael Sweet and Stryper. And better than anything, Supernova Remnant, my band, Robbie Gustin, would love to go on tour with Stryper. They're going to be doing dates. The Second Coming album just came out. It charted higher than The Covering, as well as their last album, and they got another studio album that's coming out later in the year. So what we're hoping for is, when they go back out on tour, BB King's House of Blues, that we get a chance to do some shows with Stryper in 2013. Matter of fact, here at Trees in 2011, it started with our first show with Stryper, sold out, line around the building, incredible moment, anybody was there. And then last year, House of Blues, when they came to Texas, they asked us back. So we're hoping to build on that this year, and I'm flying out to Arizona, hopefully like April 26th, to meet with Janice and do some interview for a big cable radio TV thing, promote the book, and then talk about the possibility of this tour with Supernova Remnant and Stryper in 2013. I'm very thankful for this book because it's a live story, but I just remember laying flat on my back in that hospital for 8 days and not knowing if I'd ever even play drums again, let alone be released and then have a chance to get out and be able to rock again. And so it's really awesome. And I really appreciate Robbie and my whole church family, all the people that have been around me, and my editor Gary, as well as Dr. Bart that helped put the book together. It's been a blessing. And the rocket's red glare, rip and tear, truth or dare, as the rocket's red glare. This is Lester. Want to be Rockstar, we finally found the rock, and you heard it on Jam.